It's Alex Belfield back on your favourite local radio station, and we're talking to the big stars today. And we've got a man who is not only a star, but he's very, very talented. Gary Rhodes, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
It's really nice to talk to you. I'll tell you why, because you're not interested in this fame business. You do what you do, and you do it very well. You don't sell out, do you, like some do?
No, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, all I want to do is really what I set out to do in this career, and that's hopefully to please the public. That's what it's about. You know, we are part of the entertainment industry. People come to a restaurant, what for? To be entertained. To be entertained by the restaurant team and hopefully be entertained by the food on the plate. And that's what my job is. So it is about, you know, pleasing people. I mean, I like getting involved, you know, with television and so forth and so on, because hopefully that's going to be the inspiration for people to try these dishes at home. Writing books, all that kind of thing I enjoy. So they're the nice sort of supplements to my career. But my main life is my cooking. That's what I wanted to be. That's what I am, a chef.
There's one thing that staggered me about you today, if you don't mind me saying. I don't want to get personal. The hair seems less outrageous than I remember. What's happened?
But it's called age, you know. I'm trying to hide it now, but I call it maturity, actually. No, I just got to that point where I thought, what on earth do I look like? You know, I'm not Rod Stewart. I can't still have the same haircut in my 60s. So, you know, no, at the end of the day, I just got to that point I wanted it all cut off, and you're seeing it right now, and this is a little bit long, so I normally have it even slightly shorter than this. Due a haircut very soon, but you know, I just got fed up with that haircut. And on my passport, goodness me, because my passport now is about 9 years old, so very soon, you know, out of date. But when of course I go into another country, they open up that page, and there's this guy with this freaky hairdo, you know, and they look at once, look twice, and then of course they're in stitches laughing, but I just have to smile and put up with it.
I'll tell you what I love about your cookbooks is the fact that I can follow them. I want great food that I can make relatively easily. I don't want stuff that is impossible. Tell us about the new book and what you've got in there.
Well, the new book is called Time to Eat, and I just got to this point, you know, when even I found myself at home, it was always about time, how much time there is, and also what's sitting in that fridge and in that cupboard. You know, you open up the fridge sometimes, and my boys will often say, my two sons, they'll say, Dad, there's nothing to eat in the house. There's only a packet of bacon. I'm saying, what do you mean there's a packet of bacon? There's some onion in there. There's a few tomatoes left over. There's not only bacon, we've got some cheese here. Look, there's some bread sitting in the cupboard here. We've got this, we've got that. You can create a whole meal from this. Just looks like bacon to me, Dad. You know, it's that kind of thing. So I thought that I need to put a book together to say to people, look, start to realise and recognise what you've got sitting in your own fridge, in your own cupboard, and let's look at everything from when there's no time to cook at all, so it's just putting, you know, flavours together, and then cooking maybe for quick and easy. So that means the 15 minutes. This is what you've got. This is what you get. One pan. Before you know it, you've got a supper, you know, on a plate, and you're tucking into it. And then we go on to that 20 minute to 30 minute, 30 minute to the hour, and it goes on a little bit further. And puddings included as well. Any puddings under 15 minutes, and all those any time after 15. And you know, the people who've actually had a good sort of glance at it, and that I've managed to present one or two copies to at the moment, they're absolutely thrilled with it, because they're saying this is just what I needed. You know, when I know I'm stuck for time, you know, and I make it quite clear to everybody, these recipes are guidelines. Don't be too over strict with the ingredients, because if you've got something you think, well, I haven't got any bacon for that recipe, but I know what I have got. I've got some ham. I've got a few slices of ham left, or I've got, you know, think, you know, use what you've got. And so I'm hoping it'll find great success like that, because it's the easy excuse in the world to phone up and order another pizza to be delivered. And I'm trying to say, don't do that. Don't waste your money. Instead, create one pan, couple of bowls, and before you know it, you're going to have a nice happy meal.
There's a wonderful Paul O'Grady, Lily Savage gag, isn't there, about where he gets the Book of Delia out and he wonders what he can make for his tea, and she suggests quail's eggs with mange too, and he opens the fridge and all he's got is a tin of beans and one potato. I mean, there is an element of that with a lot of these recipes, that you have to go shopping in the most peculiar delicatessens to get half the ingredients, which really isn't the point, is it?
No, that's it. I think, you know, what this book is all about is looking at ABC ingredients, really. Yes, in some of the dishes that take over the hour, which you're going to plan and you're going to go out shopping for, that's different. We can introduce one or two others. But, this is about using simple things, I say, like tomatoes, mushrooms, etc. Maybe the odd spring onion, some salad leaves. You bought one of those mixed bags, you got half a bag left. What can I do with those? It's that sort of thing. And it isn't a ready, steady cook where it's just, grab everything and throw it in the pan. And that's a great series. It works superbly. But these have been a little bit more thought out in terms of making sure the balance of flavours is right. And I'm hoping that this will find great success.
What always amazes me when I interview the chefs is the fact that you're able to sit still in your chair and not be falling on the floor asleep. You work incredibly long hours, longer than any other profession as far as I'm aware. You're in before anybody starts, you're there after everybody's gone. It's a complete way of life. It's not a job, is it? No,
you're right. It is a complete way of life, and it gets you into a different routine. I think we all have our own routines in life. And when you started from a very young age, I started, college at 16, left school, straight to college to train, then straight out into the industry by the time I was 19. And, from those days, I've been getting up the crack of dawn and I've been working till late. So it just becomes part of your life. It is a routine in life. And if I manage to get the early night now and again, it's a great old pleasure. Of course, these days I can take it now and again if I like and say, guys, I won't be here tonight, get on with the job, see you tomorrow morning, bye-bye. Yeah, bye, chef, bye-bye. And they're quite happy I'm gone, I think. But, you can be in command of your own time when you get to this stage. But it is part of my life. It's my rota, it's my routine. I don't want to change it.
It seems to me in this country the problem with restaurants, A is the price and B is the consistency. What is your take on British food at the moment? Are we in a good place? Are we in a bad place?
No, really, I think we have some of the best restaurants in the world in this country, and they are spreading, much further than just London, all over the country. I think there's great Michelin-starred restaurants and others, and there's also some great bistros. But I think one of the big things that's happening at the moment is the gastropub. So there are, even down to your local, where you can get a bowl of something very hearty, and it might be a good old-fashioned shepherd's pie, but it's got flavour and it's made with real, true ingredients. So you can eat, I think, at a reasonable price. It just means that now and again we can't always expect it to be on our doorstep. We might have to just look that little bit harder to find it, but it's there.
You're putting your trust in other people to put your food out with your name on it when you're not there. How do you cope with that, knowing that when they come in your restaurant, they're buying you, not the person who made it, they're buying you. So you've got to have people who care about it as much as you do, because if they don't, it's never going to quite be as good as you would make it. So how do you deal with that?
Well, there's an old thing that I have that Gordon claims is his, but I actually told him this story, and you probably know it, because I bet he told you it. I bet he said, you're laughing, because you probably know. But I told Gordon this story some time ago, and every time I try and tell it, they say, oh yes, that's Gordon's, isn't it? And I go berserk, because I know, and I've even sent a message to him saying, leave my points alone and my little messages alone. So it was just simply and purely, it was like, as I said a little bit earlier, but buying a suit. When you buy a designer suit, if you buy an Armani suit, do you really think that man even designed it? Do you really think that he sat there and stitched it all together for you? But you're proud enough to wear it because it's a guarantee that you have. It is a brand that you're purchasing. And I think that has to stand really with the food. He probably has a full team of designers and a full team who actually make everything for him. What I have is, I come up with the recipes, then I have a full team who help put them together, and it's those head chefs who get paid well enough, incidentally, to make sure that they are executed to the standard I'm expecting. And so really and truly, it isn't so much the individual that you're coming to see. You're looking for a sense of security, of quality, of consistency, and it is a Rhodes brand that you're buying into, not Gary. It's the Rhodes.
Can you be a chef when you're 60? Are you able to keep the pace and keep up with everything that's going on in a kitchen? Because it's so physical, isn't it?
It's a very, very physical way of life. But the great thing is, I think, that this industry keeps you very young. Very, very young. Why? Because you're permanently working with young people. I've got great old friends of mine who, my age, and they're, you know, working in offices somewhere, and I think, goodness me, they're so much older. Not only, you know, are they older in their whole manner, they even look older, you know, though they dress older. They dress to be amongst their peers, whereas I try and still think that I'm some trendy young cool dude who, you know, who still wants to look like a 25-year-old at 47. But, you know, it's that keeps you young. I mean, it's like when I work with the Roux brothers. I mean, for me, the godfathers of cuisine. Albert Roux, the oldest brother of the two, and Michel, his brother, but they are men I adore and they are inspirational. You couldn't work with two younger men. You know, in the times that I've been, you know, in functions with them, what have you, I mean, they are so lively and I find that really, really inspirational, and I take a lot from it. And it just goes to show that really this industry does keep you young in mind.
Very finally, have you made it now? Have you achieved the dream? You've got the branded restaurants, you've got the hugely successful books, you've got the hugely successful TV shows. You've really done it. All you've got to keep doing now is making sure that you keep that name as pure as it is at the moment.
Well, you know, it's do you ever achieve really what you're hoping to achieve? If I could achieve one more thing in life, it's quite simple. And that is, I am hoping that when I'm gone, if the name Gary Rhodes is mentioned, I would like to think that they'll say, yeah, that guy made an impact on this industry. He offered something and provided a service to this industry, which will be very rare. Whether that ever happens, who knows? But that, for me, would mean if I can look down, you know, when I'm up there eventually, or maybe down below, who knows? But hopefully if I'm up there looking down, and I'll realise that I did make some form of impression and added something to the catering industry.
What about moving to Vegas? I was there only a few months ago, and I walked past the Mandalay Bay, and I thought, there you go. Rhodes to Mandalay. You could have your own restaurant there. How perfect would that be?
Do you know what? I think I'm in love with you already. You know, that sounds fantastic. And if you've got shares in it, I'll be there. I've never been to Vegas. I keep being told it's the place you've got to go, and you've got to have a restaurant. So Vegas, here I come. Rhodes to Vegas. You wait and see.
The book is in the stores now. It's beautifully illustrated and brilliantly written. Thank you very much for coming on the programme, Gary Rhodes.
Thank you so much. It's been great to be here.
The Alex Belfield In Conversation podcast with daisymedia.co.uk.